So let's first of all, let's just, I mean, you actually are an artist already and you don't know it. Let me start with, can you on your paper, can you go like this? Can you do that? A shape, something like that? You got something like that? Can you then go like that? You draw every time you pick up a pen and you write something. And everybody's handwriting is different. And we sometimes are the worst critic, the most aggressive critic of our own work. So when we look at something that we draw, we tend to compare it to things that other people draw. And we say, well, that sucks because it doesn't look like theirs. So here's what we're going to try to do. It turns out that we can draw a head in 13 easy steps. Now 13 sounds like a lot, but just keep track here. So here's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to make a shape. It's kind of like a big letter C. Do not try to make it look like mine. Just, you know, a shape like a big letter C. And then we're going to just put, like we're making a 6, but we're going to fill in the bottom part of the 6. Okay? And then just to the left of that, I'm going to do another one of those same shapes. You're okay so far? Here's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to move over, and I'm looking at kind of where the bottom of these are. I'm just moving over, and I'm going to make, it's not a C because it's facing the wrong way, a little bit smaller, but it's sort of like a backward C. And I'm just going to put a little line in there. Next, I'm going to put 4 lines for the hair. I'm going to give him a smile. Now this next shape, this is the hard shape. This shape makes all the difference as to how much this person weighs. So sometimes my Bobs and Alice's are rather hefty. Here it is, and I'm going to just demo the shape we're going for. It's like we're making an S, but not exactly. It's like a stretched out S. So here we go. I'm going to go like that. It's kind of an S shape. And then I'm going to go up kind of underneath the ear here and just put another line. And just put a little loop at the bottom. Maybe add 2 lines for shoulders. How'd you do? Now what's amazing about that is you might, you know, if I had said beforehand, you know, I had this picture up on the screen at the beginning of the day and I said, by the end of today, you're going to be able to draw that guy. If I were in your shoes back in July of 2016, I would have said, no way, I can't draw that. I can't draw better than a stick figure. It turns out, though, that it really is that simple. And with just those few basics, there's a lot more that you can do. In the slides, I've got this detailed in the slides, but in the slides, I call this the Mr. Potato Head School of Art. Here's why I say that. Because you could think about noses, for instance. Maybe I'm going to have a nose that's like the C. Maybe I'm going to have a nose that's kind of like a long sausage. Maybe I'm going to have a sharp, pointy nose. With the eyes, I could have those 6s that we did. But I could also just put 2 circles with some dots inside of them. I could also do kind of like, not really the McDonald's arches, but kind of like the McDonald's arches, and just put the dot inside of those. Let's try to mix and match. Let's take the sausage nose, and then I'm going to put the McDonald's arches with the eyeballs. And after that, it's pretty much the same. I'm going to stick the ear on it. The hair, well now, before we did the spiky hair, I'm just going to put a squiggly line, kind of like he's got a crew cut. That's it. I don't want him to smile. I'm going to give him a very neutral expression, just a line. And then do the S the back of the neck, the loop, and the shoulders. And you've got an entirely different character. And all we're doing is picking the parts and dropping them onto the head. Let's try Alice. My Alice has a pointy nose. I give my Alice glasses. So to do that, I use 2 circles. They do not have to be perfect circles. And then just link the circles together. Some people make the eyes in glasses like Scooter. Remember the Muppet Show? I don't know if you remember that or not. And they just put little dots. I don't prefer the dots. I prefer to just put some lines, like there's a reflection coming off them. Alice still needs an ear, so we'll give her Alice an ear. And then let's connect the glasses to the ear. Next, Alice needs some hair. And I'm not really good at otherwise distinguishing female characters, so I'm simply going to give her curly hair that goes down her back. And it literally is just a doodle of hair. Alice is happy. And she's been on a diet, so she's not very heavy today. And we have it, Alice. What do you think about that idea of, now this doesn't fit every presentation, clearly, but what do you think of the idea of being able to, in a discussion, someone says, well, what are you talking about? How does that work? And you're going to give them an illustration with Alice and Bob. And instead of just talking about Alice and Bob, or maybe instead of saying, well, okay, so we've got an Alice and we've got a Bob. What if your Alice and Bob actually had faces? Does that have any impact on people listening to you? I find that when you sit down and you start drawing a little cartoon head, people really start paying attention. And yeah, and it turns out it's like a magic trick. It is so easy to do. It's amazing. Whether you do it or not is entirely up to you. I included it in the class because I really started doing this just for myself because I was tired of stick figures. And I could not believe the way people react to it in classes. They really start to pay attention. I actually get comments and emails from people about how awesome the heads are. Hey, how did they feel at the end of the presentation?